From North Africa to southern Turkey, the Ladies European Tour has landed for the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. Belek in Antalya is situated on the Mediterranean coast and is one of the country's top tourist destinations. And in its sixth edition, the Turkish Ladies Open is once again hosted by the region's oldest venue, the National Golf Club. Charlie Hull started the week as tournament favourite, and if she can do a little more of this with the putter, the 18-year-old could make it back-to-back Ladies European Tour wins. Marlene Jorgensen will be hoping this is the week for her breakthrough. The big hitting Dane went to the top yesterday before a late slip-up. She seems ready to pounce. Vicky Lang was off to a flyer in round two, producing one of the shots of the week here at the par 5 14th. Now the Scot goes searching for the big debut after a hat-trick of runner-up spots. But leading the way is another of Europe's teenage sensations. 19-year-old Czech Klára Spilková, the one to catch. Can she keep her Sunday nerve? So this is how it stood overnight, with Spilková leading by a fragile one shot. Charlie Hull 4 back, one shot closer to the top than she was going into the final round when she won in Morocco 8 weeks ago. First round leader Heather McRae still not out of it, with Valentine Derry one of only 2 players to break 70 in round 2. The cut mark came at 6 over par. A very good afternoon, and what a glorious afternoon it is on the Turkish Riviera. This National Golf Club, a par 73 of just under 6,200 yards, designed by David Fairty and David Jones, and it's bathed in sunshine. A sharp contrast to the weather early in the week that led to the cancellation of play on day 2. Ideal conditions then, as you can see, for this final round. I'm Richard Kaufman alongside Nigel Bidmead. And Nigel, how far down the leaderboard do you think we can go for a potential winner?
Well, given the toughness of the course, I thought that anybody within 5 shots of the lead would have a chance. But so that was 9 golfers, and of those 9, you'd have to say Charlie Hull, who did it in the last tournament, would perhaps be the favourite to do it. There's some inexperienced golfers in there as well as 1 or 2 with a little bit more experience. But certainly one of 9 golfers to win for me.
Out in 36, back in 37, you can see that string of par 5s from the 12th. It's a place where you can potentially score, but this is a very tight, tree-lined golf course with potential for trouble brewing at all corners. Well, the final round underway, but before they set up, we caught up with some of the potential winners. First up, it's Charlie Hull, and a Jimenez-like warm-up routine here. Obviously, she's the star attraction at the Turkish Airlines Lady Open, and she's looking for a Moroccan-like fight back.
Yeah, I was actually 5 shots back when I played Morocco and I won. I shot 62 there. I think I'm only 4 shots back now, so if I get a low score going, and hopefully I'll push up the leaderboard. And it's interesting because no one in front of me has won, I don't think, so I think it'll be a fun day out there.
Fighting talk from Charlie Hull. Here's her target, fellow teenager Klára Spilková, who told us she was feeling okay with the pressure of the lead, and she also told us about that outfit.
I feel very confident. I feel very happy. So I slept very good today. So it was nice. I feel good.
The key is to keep relaxed out there and make those putts. The putts going to be the difference today, I think.
We will see. I just will enjoy the day, how I said before, and just it's a very nice day today here. Not very windy, so I think the pin will be a little bit tougher than yesterday, I think, but that's going to be good.
And last question I've got to ask, but your clothing today, you and your caddy, both matching pink and flowers, is it?
Yeah, that's the winner, that's the winner clothes for today.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Well, the leaders went out just around 2 hours ago. Let's catch up with some of the play out on the course. This is the 33-year-old Aussie Nikki Campbell, who's considering quitting at the end of the year. Successive 72s and a birdie at the first thanks to that approach. She is at 3 under. How about the first round leader, Heather McRae? Parred her last 10 holes yesterday, ended that with a bogey at the first, but how about that for a bounce back monster putt for birdie at 2? Charlie Hull needed a fast start. She laid up perfectly in 2 at the opening par 5, and her wedge was right at it. So it looked as if she had set up a gimme birdie. But after her putting woes yesterday, I'm afraid more of the same for Charlie Hull. Just a par 5. In the same group, no such problems for Valentine Derry. A birdie start that got her to 5 under. She also birdied 4 that gave it straight back at 5. Not the widest of fairways for your opening tee shot. Vicky Lang, who started so well yesterday, well, not quite the beginning to her final round she wanted, and she clattered into the trees. Bogey start, I'm afraid, for the Scot. Picturesque second hole to the Island Green. Hull at the 139-yard par 3 and another fabulous shot. But once again, she couldn't make the putt, and with a bogey at 4, her chances seem to be slipping away, especially given the start that Klara Spilkova had made. The Czech team missed out here with a birdie attempt at the first, but she soon made amends with birdies at 2 and 3. Spilkova then getting it to 9 under par, 4 clear at one stage. But this is how it stands right now. She bogeyed 6 for the second day running, and she has just dropped another shot at 7, followed it with a par at 8. She's 7 under, leading by 2 from Vicky Lang, despite a double bogey at the 6th hole. Valentine Derry going along very nicely, just 2 shots back. Jade Schaefer making the biggest move, turned in 32 shots, 2 birdies and an eagle on the front 9 to move to 4 under par. There's Charlie Hull. Well, 5 shots off the lead, 10 holes to play. She had her first birdie of the day at the 9th yesterday. Is it going to be a similar story for her again today? And Holly Cliven, who finished second to Hull as Rookie of the Year in 2013, just inside the top 10. For one moment, Nigel, it looked like Spilkova was going to stretch away with that 4-shot lead, but the confidence that we saw in an interview has seen her slip back with a couple of bogeys, and that means that Charlie Hull, who seemed like she might be out of it just without those birdies on the card, may still have an opportunity.
Yes, birdies on 2 and 3 really did put Spilkova in a very good position indeed, but and then 6 and 7 consecutive bogeys, and just cramping her style a little bit and giving the rest of the field some hope.
Well, this is her favourite hole. She birdied it day 1. She birdied it yesterday. Can she make it 3 out of 3 here, Charlie Hull? She's interested. Oh, right at it, but she's on the wrong level. The pin on the top today, and she'll be disappointed when she sees it. It's just not happening right now for Charlie Hull. I think that missed putt at the first pretty much summing up her luck on the greens at the moment. Vicky Lang had a really rotten start off the tee. She actually got up and down from the bunker at the first to make a bogey 6. She's had a double bogey on the card as well, but she's sitting tied for second. No need to press the button right now. Is it a little bit of a hold up here on 9?
Yeah, it's just waiting for the players in front to clear away, and no need to panic, but you know, when you are held up sometimes you've got to keep your concentration. That's where a bit of experience comes in, and Vicky Lang is one of the more experienced golfers amongst the chasing pack.
Yeah, it was interesting what Charlie Hull was saying, wasn't it, about none of them in front of her have won. Well, right now there's 1 or 2 others in front of her, including Jade Schaefer, who's won a couple of times. Lang's won in America on the 2nd tier for the LPGA Tour, but looking for her first win in Europe, and she's had a real up and down day so far. A couple of birdies, a bogey and a double. Here's Schaefer, who I was mentioning. She's reached the par 3 11th.
Schaefer is actually 3 under now. She had a bogey on 10 after 3 birdies on the front 9.
Jorgensen, a couple of 6s in the first 3 holes. That really unnerved her, but credit to her, she's bounced back with a couple of birdies. This 9th hole, there's some trees in the centre of the fairway, but plenty of room down the left of it. And that's exactly what Jorgensen has done. She gives it a spank, doesn't she?
She is one of the longer hitters. And when we talked to her last night after a round, she still remained confident despite that late slip-up that you mentioned. She's enjoying this tournament,
Well, here's
enjoying
our
the
leader.
sunshine.
And yeah, she said last night, I mean, she saw how confident she was in the interview beforehand, but she said last night she doesn't feel pressure. Well, we'll see. Well, that was a pressure-free swing. Absolutely glorious. Splits the fairway. Looking for her first title and to become the first Czech golfer, male or female, to win on a professional men's tour. It's a big 9 holes, or 10 holes including this one, ahead for Spilkova. It was a fabulous start for her. Those birdies at the beginning, but just unsettled now. All about pace here for Charlie.
Get to 3 under.
There was a good putt, but it's all a little flat at the moment for Charlie Hull. You heard her earlier with that fighting talk, the 18-year-old from Kettering, saying she wanted to reel in the leaders. She just hasn't been able to buy a birdie. And the bad news for her is she's only had 2 birdies all week on the back 9. So hopefully she's going to have to change that to have any chance. Oh, what a pity for Alexandra Villatte, one of 15 French players in the field. She was going very nicely. Had reason to celebrate recently. She's a big Paris Saint-Germain fan. Chalked off the title in Ligue 1. Birdie-free front 9, I'm afraid, for Charlie Hull. Can she catch fire on the back 9? Well, we talked about people having bad starts, Nigel, but Krista Backer, goodness me, she was right, left in the trees, took a triple bogey 8.
She's only 20 years old. This is only her second LET event. Nerves understandable, and
Yeah.
that rocky start. This is the first cut she's made.
Yeah, she slipped a long way down the leaderboard, started the day at 3 under, now back at level par. Conditions really ideal today for good scoring. Pins aren't in what you'd call too tricky a position. You can see that one there, smack in the centre of the green. 10th in particular, one of those greens that doesn't have too severe a slope in it. This 9th does. Very tied for second, 2 back. Got a manager, Monika Dvorkova, on the bag, who was a pretty good sports person herself. Monika was a snowboarder internationally. Clara loves skiing. In fact, 1 or 2 players have told her, you really have to stop skiing, you can get yourself injured and hurt. And Clara says, no, I'm going to carry on, I love it. Yeah. Naivety of youth, I think we call that. There's a few golfers who have
Very impetuous, isn't it?
suffered with skiing injuries. Martin Keimer, of course, is going so well in Sawgrass. Go-karting, I think, undid him for a while. Well, that's a little unlucky. She got it on the back level. Some of these greens are just flying and sucking down on what are fairly moist greens, given the wet weather we had the last couple of days. Some of them are fairly bouncy, although the sun has started to dry things out, but it is preferred lies again today.
Now, Vicky Lang. Will it hold? Yes, it will. She'll have a long putt for birdie.
So Charlie Haas starts the back nine, and, well, you get the feeling she needs to rip it up, really. 37 it plays, she needs it really in 33, 32, something like that. We know she's capable, although this tee shot looks a little right. Oh, that's a nice kick out, isn't it?
Members bounce.
I'm not sure she'll have much of a shot in, but that could have been far worse. But if she needs to head back in 3, 4, 5 under, that's not the beginning she wanted.
Jorgensen, 3 back. Drawing it round. Best shot of the 3 from Milena Jorgensen.
Yeah, this is an interesting period, isn't it, for Klara Spilkova? When she made birdies at 2 and 3, she was probably thinking in her 19 years, this is easy, isn't it? Final round, pushing away from the chasing bunch, but setbacks at 6 and 7. Now she's got to trick a little up and down to come at 9, and that means the likes of Derry and Co have made up a little bit of ground.
Very consistent, Valentine Derry. Really good season last year. Just needing that breakthrough victory.
Yeah, like Lang, she has won on the Symetra Tour in America, but she's not won on any of the main tours. This young lady has, last year, in only her 7th LET event, Anka Lindner. She wanted to be a professional footballer. But I think her golf has spoken volumes why she changed now. It should be a fairly straightforward chip, this, for Spilkova, but just given the situation, given the circumstances of those drop shots at 2 of the previous 3 holes, another little test of her nerves here. Interesting here, talking about the outfits. They do spend a bit of time on them. Her brother is a fashion designer. He designs the clothes, so their own special brand of final day winning outfit, as she called it. We'll see. A little heavy-handed. Polite applause, but I think she'll be best pleased with that.
Testing little putt. Marikueva, 1 under. She started the day 2 under.
Yeah, she did get it to 3 under drop shots there at 5 and 6. The Russian, like quite a few in this top 10, looking for that maiden tour title. Long birdie putt here at 9 for Lang. Another with some work to do.
Yeah, she's certainly got one coming back.
Yeah, the scoring hasn't been great, has it? We're not seeing that many scores in the 60, 67 on day 1 for Heather McRae. Holly Clyburn got it going on day one. She was 3 under at the turn, then slipped back. At one stage yesterday, thought she might miss the cut, but she's creeping up the leaderboard. Like Charlie Hull, one of the victorious Curtis Cup team members a couple of years ago in Nairn.
Jorgensen for birdie. Smooth stroke. Oh, that's unlucky. So let's have a go with her par putt before putting out.
Well, crucial moments these for Clara Spilkova. She took the talk, didn't she? But she's never really been in this position before.
Tied 6th is her best finish. It was at the European Masters at the Buckinghamshire, which is a tournament that's coming up in the next couple of months on the LET.
Yeah, but she wasn't really. Well, she was up there, but she never had the lead. Well done. All smiles. That really was a gutsy putt from Spilkova, but there's a huge 9 holes ahead of her. Now, I was trying to think of Czech golfers that have won. Jessica Korda, she's kind of Czech. Of course, her dad, Petr Korda, was a Czech tennis player, but obviously lived in America. And Alex Chaker, he was born in the Czech Republic.
Well, he represents Germany.
Yeah, he
doesn't
moved to Germany when
yeah.
he was 9 years old, but actually lives in America. But yeah, those are only two
Few and far
sort of
between.
Czechs that I could find. But actually, what you call a real Czech player, there hasn't been a professional win. So we shall see whether Spilkova can pull that off over the back 9. This is one of the ladies who could stop her at perfect tee shot down 10 for Valentine Derry.
Very accurate.
Ball hat so schnell gespielt,
From
da kam
Derry.
sie zurück von der ersten.
Well, it's a stunning setting, isn't it? Really is a good golf course. They're going to be playing on the Challenge Tour here next week. And I was talking to the club owner yesterday, and he told me the course record here off the men's tee is still, even though it opened in 1994, this course, it's 71.
It's astonishing, isn't it?
Good,
well
good pass,
played.
wasn't it, all around there.
Vicky Lane.
So I've got a feeling that might be broken next week on the Challenge Tour. I'm sure there's quite a few players, if they're not stuck in what's been a very foggy Madeira, that are watching this coverage, heading for the Challenge Tour next week, and be watching very closely what the ladies are doing. Of course, they'll be playing a slightly longer course. Well, we saw Charlie Hull go in the trees. Our understanding is she must have had a remarkable recovery shot and found a route through, got a nice kick off the trees, and well, you never know, it might be the bit of luck that kickstarts her around, because this is for birdie. Really, we saw a hole only one putt of any length yesterday. But she's got one there.
Wow.
Well, will this be the moment for Charlie Hull? A tee shot clattering amongst the trees ends in her first birdie of the day. And maybe, just maybe, back-to-back LET titles are still on the cards for the 18-year-old world number 47. Charlie Hull up to 2 under par at the turn, but moves to 3 under with that birdie and into 5th position on her own. Vicky Lang with a good par-saving putt at the 9th to stay at 5 under. It's Spilkova who leads by 2. Schaefer, unfortunately, slipping back, hasn't she? We saw her tee shot go left at 11. Yeah, double bogey for Schaefer there. Nora Tamminen now, the leading Finn. 23-year-old, second season on the tour. Upstaging backer as it stands. Look at Heidi Kleiben from nowhere up to a tie for 5th. But here's the tournament leader on the 10th.
In her 4th season of playing on the LET, but still just 19 years of age.
Yeah, they do turn pro very young nowadays, don't they? I mean, Lexi Thompson turned pro at 15. She was the first Czech player to play on the Ladies European Tour, the youngest as well, from any country at the age of 16.
They had that big gap between tournaments, Morocco and here, and Spilkova spending some time in England with the Czech national squad, coached by Keith Williams. It's a Hawkstone Park Golf Club in Shropshire.
Wow. Not sure that's one for the nightclubs, but maybe they're practicing what the celebration will be like.
Maybe she's right. Maybe she doesn't feel pressure.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see. I remember when I saw Sergio Garcia's first victory, he was at the age of 19 as well, and in the Irish Open. It was a joy to see that day, and maybe we're going to see a similar thing here from Spilkova. But a lot of golf to be played. You can see Charlie Hull confirmation of her moving up to 3 under par. She's only 4 shots back. There's only 8 holes to play. But as I said, she needed to go low on the back 9, and she's got 3 par 5s coming up over the next 5 holes. So if she can find a game, and the tee shot at 10 didn't really suggest that she had, despite the birdie. If she can, she might be able to put a bit of heat on Spilkova at the top. Because I think it's fair to say we felt Charlie Hull was probably just about the favourite at the start of the day, despite the fact she was 4 behind.
Yes, I think that's a fair comment because of what she did in Morocco.
And last season as well.
When she came from 5 shots back to force a playoff against Gladys Nocera.
And given what she said in the fact that none of them ahead of her, no one in the final group has won on the Ladies European Tour before.
I think that's fun. I think that's a good way of thinking. You know, I'm going to go into this as the favourite. It's just the putting, I think, has let her down this week.
Balikoeva on the par 3 11th. That's why Charlie Hull, you can see, was waiting back on the tee. This for her to try and get back to 2 under. She knows this course very, very well. Obviously raised and lives in Russia, but when she was 12, she started coming here every year during the winter to train. So this is kind of a home course, really.
And she'll feel at home down here because it's a very popular destination for Russian tourists.
Well, Charlie Hull got a good break, didn't she, off the trees at 10. I'm not sure Vicky Lang has had a similar good fortune. Well, you can see her caddy there on the bag. He's an old family friend, Ernie Brown. He's been caddying for her since she was 14 years old. She turned up at the Welsh Ladies Amateur, and he'd been watching her play, thought she was a good player, said, would you like me to caddy for you? And of course Vicky accepted, and here they are still going. What's that, 19 years later? Nice story. So, having to take her medicine, Vicky Lang, just chipping out. So problems for one of Spilkova's lead chasers.
Now, can she get this close?
By the way, I've been duly informed Bernard Langer's dad was Czech. So there's another Czech connection for you.
Still very tenuous.
It's not as Czech as Clara Spilkova, that's for sure. Thanks to Matt Cooper for that piece of information.
Jorgensen.
Yeah, she did catch the tree there. You can see the ball just sitting down there around 30 yards or so short of the green. It's a course where if you are, I'm laughing, I shouldn't laugh, but if you are slightly awry, then you are going to pay the penalty. Charlie Hull, she's actually played very nicely tee to green. Hit a lovely tee shot at the first par 3 on the front nine. Can she find one here on the back nine? Oh, that's nice.
Playing 142 yards today, the par 3 11th.
Similar length putt to the one she holed on the last green, isn't it? I mean, she that putt on the first that you saw that she missed from a couple of feet, she just nonchalantly stepped up, thought she was going to just ram it in, and it's a real unsettler, isn't it? Well, the Finns have been up there, haven't they? Noora Taminen looking for her best finish on tour, never finished higher than 6th, and lovely wedge into the par 5 14th, one of those par 5s on that stretch that's coming up for this group shortly. 12, 14 and 15, all par 5s. She's a kind of quiet, unassuming player, isn't she, Valentine Derry? Don't mean to be rude with her, but you'd kind of not notice her out there. Everything's pretty solid, matter of fact, but she's getting the job done, and you never know, she might creep up.
Very, very consistent. Had a very consistent start to the season as well.
Third shot for Lang after finding the trees off the left. Saw her mum Jeanette out walking the course earlier. She follows her daughter around everywhere. She says that Vicky doesn't seem that nervous, but she is.
So Jorgensen with her third shot after clipping the tree. They have taken a lot of the trees out at this national course, but it's still very tight.
Yeah, it's less so that the trees they've moved, but they cut back the branches, haven't they? And just widen the fairway slightly as a result. That's a pretty good recovery from Jorgensen. We were talking yesterday, weren't we, Nigel, about the winning score, and you put your neck on the block. You said 7 under. I just wonder whether that still could be the case, even though, of course, that's the mark on which Spilkova is right now.
Well, it's looking that way, isn't it? I mean, but as you mentioned, there are the 3 par 5s coming up.
But then you've got the tough 17th,
And
18th. There's obviously
yeah.
got some danger there.
Yeah.
It really is a good closing stretch. You've got the par 3 16th with water back left and right. So there's plenty of room for movement one way or the other. Should make for an exciting finish.
Now this would give Valentine Derry a share of the lead if this birdie goes in. This birdie putt goes in.
Well, she's birdied it the last 2 days. It is her favourite hole, as you rightly say. who joins Spilkova at 7 under if she can pop it in. Well, she was never going to be shy. Good, bold, aggressive putt.
Lang to stay within 2 of the lead.
Well,
Still work to do.
Yeah, started the front 9 with a 6. Hopefully she won't start the back 9 with 1. Long journey ahead for Charlie Hull tonight. She's off to the United States of America playing a couple of events on the LPGA Tour. Not this time. You do feel like she needs to cash in on the par 5s coming up to have any chance at all. She's back and forwards from America at the moment. She went to the Masters, went to Florida, practiced with Tony Jacklin, of course, has helped her very much in her career. Then played one of the LPGA events, missed the cut, then went back home, now going back out again. She's clocking up the air miles, isn't she?
But still spending time at home with family and friends, which are important to her.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why she decided not to play the LPGA full-time this season. I think the way she played the first major of the year, I just wonder whether she might have had a change of heart at all. Derry stays hot on the heels of Spilkova, just 1 behind, because as Derry pars 11, Spilkova pars 10.
So the lead remains 1. Jorgensen for par.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like Spilkova, she's never had a top 5 finish on tour before, so this final round really was a golden opportunity for Jorgensen. It's funny the way golfers think. A lot of them have blogs, and on her blog she said she was worried about getting her 7 o'clock flight home. I think she was saying it tongue-in-cheek. She said she wouldn't rush things. Now this is an interesting hole, isn't it, Nigel, this 12th, because earlier in the week we saw a lot of players lay up ahead of that. You see all those little grassy bush, if you like, that's water there. A lot of players were laying up short of it, even though it was only sort of 200 yards to reach. Hull going over the top of it. I think she's leaked it. Is it going to clear? It has. Behind you, sir. She's got away with another one. I mean, she will only be laying up here anyway, particularly from that position, you would think. But she's got the rights going, hasn't she, off the tee?
Lang. And she drops a shot. Now 3 off the lead.
Yeah, a little gap, isn't there, now between Lang and Jorgensen at 4 under, Derry and Spilkova. 2-shot gap from Derry, and then of course Spilkova at 7 under. Considered one of the toughest layouts this on the Ladies European Tour schedule. David Fairty. I don't think he's designed many other courses around the world, but he has done a very good job here in the company of David Jones. In fact, I understand he helped actually dig some of the bunkers. He actually wasn't happy with what some of the ground staff had done, so he got in there himself with his spade and started digging away. Final group, 8 holes from home.
Sounds like the breeze might be getting up a little bit as the afternoon wears on.
Yeah, but you have to say, I mean, look at the flag there. You have to say conditions couldn't be better. I mean, what a contrast to what we had on Friday, where it was gloomy, it was wet. Today it's a glorious summer's day, isn't it? Day for shorts.
Yeah, those shorts or hot pants, they're close, aren't they?
Sensational from Spilkova. She means business here this afternoon in Turkey. And she's enjoying it too. Really good to see. Maybe about to regain her 2-shot lead at the top of the leaderboard. Klara Spilkova, the 19-year-old from the Czech Republic, leading by 1 right now from Valentine Derry. Then a little gap between Jorgensen and Lang. Charlie Hull needs to go on the birdie trail. Holly Kleiben getting herself nicely up to 6th position now. At 2 under par, it's the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open final round. Well, much better day today for Gladys Nacera. 79 from her yesterday really put her out of contention, but she's 1 under par for the day. Level par for the round. Nikki Campbell slipping back. There's the first round leader, Heather McRae, shot that wonderful round of 67, but not going her way. Michaela Palmlid, who's another who was right up there at the start. Florentine Parker, who has a really good record around this National Golf Club, slipping back to 3 over par. Sally Watson, who was one of the playoff losers last week in the Axis Series event in Switzerland, inside the top 30. Miriam Nagel, who had something like 3 years out injured because of a skiing incident. Maybe she should talk to Klara Spilkova, but back in business now for the last couple of years. 4 over par. Diana Luna at +5, the Italian who has won 8 times on the Ladies European Tour. And there's Chloe Lerkin at the bottom there, the last winner on this course when they played the Axis Series event here back in November.
Lang on 11. And then dropped a shot at the last. Right at the pin.
Yeah, there's 2 very good tee shots there, but there's one excellent one, isn't there? Now, Charlie Hull. We can't obviously see from the angle we're looking at exactly the route she has. She knows she needs to go on attack, but then again, doesn't want to do anything silly, because, you know, if she can just lay up in a good area, she's still got an opportunity to make birdie. I think just trying to work out with her caddy yardages here. Gary Wildman, who started caddying for Charlie only at the Kraft Nabisco, so he's only been on the bag a matter of weeks for her. She has chopped and changed a little bit. She's lucky that she is in a position here, really, to lay up and still make
Certainly
birdie.
get it back in play. Not sure that she's got a sight of the green though, or
I think she's too
anywhere
far
near the
back
green.
with the club
Yeah.
she's got.
Yeah.
Oh, that hit something. So Charlie Hull in a spot of bother at the par 5 12th, but no such problems for the players on the par 3 11th. All have birdie opportunities, the best those coming for Klara Spilkova, the leader. Is this bounce back time? No, it's not for Lang, who played these opening holes on the back nine so well yesterday. She played 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14 in 5 under par. She could find herself in a moment 4 shots off the lead.
Jorgensen for birdie on 11. Just to get within 2 of the lead, if only momentarily.
Well, I was mentioning, wasn't I, when we first came on air, that it's a real test of character for Clara Spilkova. She just dropped shots at 6 and 7, a really good up and down at 9, and now a golden opportunity here at the par 3 11th to really get things back on track and give herself a little bit of a cushion at the top of the leaderboard. Clara, too clear. Excellent birdie too. I don't think that celebration routine is going to change all day. Here's Holly Clyburn.
On the par 4 13th.
She's shown some great perseverance, hasn't she, so far this week, Holly?
It's been a good test of character, hasn't it? And she's come through it. Jorgensen for par.
Yeah, even if she's struggling a little bit, Holly, she makes the cut. She only missed 1 cut all season last year
deep, doesn't she?
in her rookie season. And you know, in a way, she's unlucky. All the limelight on Charlie Hull. Charlie finished 6th on the order of merit. Holly was 7th, and she actually won. Of course, she'll be defending her title in a couple of weeks.
Under the radar and just got on with her business, played her game.
But then again, she didn't take out Paula Creamer 5 and 4 at the Solheim Cup, did she? Needed to get it turning around, and she's done pretty well. But it's not really what's required right now for Charlie Hull. Not really what you call in striking distance, however, Derry is.
Pin back left. And that's going to run away down the slope.
That's a bad mistake, really, from Derry. It's not a big target in that back left pin position. But she's now got a tricky 2-putt, really. Back on the tee. Driver out for Spilkova, and that's down the middle. She is playing like she's born to be in the lead. You know, she said yesterday, pressure, what pressure? And that's exactly how she's playing. Oh, to be 19 again.
And playing golf like that.
Well, I never played golf like that, but I was once 19. Well, Jorgensen laying up. So, I mean, she's probably going just with a 6-iron here. It's strange, isn't it? See a player at a par 5 hitting off the tee with a 6-iron.
She's one of the longer hitters too, so
Yeah.
it's not a question of length, it's just accuracy.
She feels like driving's not her strong point, Vicky Lang. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but she says here she only takes out the driver 3-4 holes, and she thinks that's why she does actually very well on this golf course. She likes it, suits her game. And she's not out of things just yet.
Well, she's gone longer with her 3-wood than Spilkova went with her driver.
But she'd love to be in Spilkova's position right now on the leaderboard, wouldn't she? A 2-shot lead from Valentine Derry. Charlie Hull at 3 under par, and so too Nora Tamminen. Yeah, Finn picking up another shot to get to -3. Jay Schaefer slipping back after a really good front 9. 4 under going out. She's already 3 over for the back 9. Sophie Jiquel-Beton, you saw there, she was really going well in Morocco as well. The last event on the tour, which Charlie Hull won, albeit that was 8 weeks ago. Lindner, who plays at St. Leon-Grotte, which, for those of you who don't know, is where they'll be playing next year's Solheim Cup.
It's going to be tough to get on the team, isn't it?
Well, there's a few Germans that would like to be there. She's not the only golfer from St. Leon-Grotte. The other one being Caroline Masson, who probably has a very good chance of being in the team. Of course, was part of the winning team in Colorado back in September. Long putt up the slope for Derry, and well, said it was going to be an awkward 2-putt. It really is, isn't it? That was a really poor one from her, with just a wedge in her hand. I mean, it's maybe easy sitting here saying that, but she made a good birdie opportunity turn into a difficult par.
Krista Backer. Back to the leading group, and Jorgensen.
Yeah, after the 6-iron off the tee, laying up with a 3-wood.
That looked very straight. Well, that's one way to play the hole, isn't it? She'll have a wedge in.
That's the expression, many ways to skin a cat. And, you know, Charlie Hull, she took driver off the tee, and yet she's facing a fairly lengthy putt for birdie. Hopefully she would have learnt off the putt of Derry in terms of speed. And she did. Very nicely done. Expectations on Hull coming into this week. Everyone expecting her to perform. I think she also expects it of herself as well. This has been the club really that's stopped her from being closer to Spilkova at the top. There's nothing wrong with her game right now. She does miss quite a few short ones. I remember watching her in the final round at the Kraft Nabisco. She was in contention. She missed the short one. I think it was on the 7th when it really just put paid to her title chances, a double bogey there. But she's going to learn. She can only really get better, and that's quite a scary
she's missed
prospect.
a handful of short ones this week.
Well, back with Derry's par attempts in a moment. Just a layup for Spilkova behind. Has she overdrawn this one? Ooh, just about got away with it. That's certainly further left than she would have wanted.
I wonder if that's a positional error, because the pin is back left and it's closed down her options somewhat.
Yeah, that's certainly not what was intended. Now you can see from that angle that there's another tree ahead that could well, with the overhanging branches, impede her slightly. We'll see. Much better layup from Lang.
Derry for par. Middle of the cup.
Superb from Valentine Derry. She's only had 4 bogeys all week, which I suppose compared to Jordan Spieth at Sawgrass is nothing. He's gone 54 holes without a bogey, but on this golf course it's also pretty good to only have 4 bogeys, albeit it's only the 3rd round. And I should stress the 3rd and final round. And if you're just joining us, of course, play was cancelled on Friday because of the wet weather and thunderstorms. Yeah, it's a remarkable performance, isn't it, by Spieth in America. Of course, Diana Luna, she went bogey-free for all 72 holes of the German Open in 2011, but apparently the last player to do it on the PGA Tour was Lee Trevino, 74.
Wow, that's a long time.
So that's how rare it is.
Yeah.
Luna managed. I wonder if Spieth can today.
It doesn't look like that branch is in the way. The one that's virtually overhead, so Spilkova probably has a clear sight of the flag on this 12th hole. Schaefer on 14 and par 5. Returns to 2 under. And an up and down round for the 2-time winner on the LET circuit.
Well, Jorgensen's mindset, I suppose, like Vicky Lang, is just try and stick in there. You just don't know what's going to happen on these closing holes. If you look at the first couple of days, 3 of the last 4 holes played 3 of the 4 toughest holes on the course, scoring-wise. In fact, Jorgensen should know she double bogeyed one of them, the 16th yesterday. Oh, she's on the wrong level as well. Oh, dear. Really are what you'd call rookie errors, aren't they? Just a wedge in the hand.
Well, it's a small target area.
I know, but she'll be as disappointed as she knows. You saw how hard it made Valentine Derry's work. She had to hold a really good putt in the end to make par. Slight dogleg to the left, this 13th hole. There's water down the right-hand side, but that's nowhere near. In fact, even if you go right, you should avoid it. It's the water that's comes around the back of the 16th green. Well, a little look up to the branches, but she's close enough to them to not to really affect this shot.
She'll do well to control this once it lands on the green. Well, if it lands on the green, that's awkward.
Well, she made a lovely up and down at 9. She's going to have to do the same here at 12 to maintain her 2-shot lead. Really is becoming a hotbed for golf, isn't it now, Turkey? I mentioned the Challenge Tour event here next week. Of course, the Turkish Airlines Open, one of the big events on the European Tour. That's played down the road on the Montgomery course, where Victor Dubuisson saw off the likes of Tiger last season on the first of the final series. This just a couple of minutes ago. Charlie Hart taking iron off 13. That's a novel way of doing the scoreboard. I always feel sorry for the kids that are carrying around, you know, those big boards. He's got it easy, hasn't he, with the wheelie? Get the trolley out, that's the way to ease the pain. What was she's... It's interesting to... I think Vicky and Clara are talking about who should play next. The trickiness here coming up for Clara is, of course, there's every chance she can get up and down, but if she gets a little too heavy-handed, suddenly she could find herself down where Jorgensen and of course Vicky Lang are right now, and then suddenly she's, you know, staring down the face of maybe dropping more than one shot. But she just doesn't want to try and get too aggressive with this. Under normal circumstances it would be pretty routine. Well,
right on
the
edge of
opposite
green.
happened. She just tried to get too cute. I mean, it's not bad.
No, I don't think that's too bad at all. I mean, as you say, that could have very easily got away from her. She still has a downhill putt, though.
We keep saying test of nerves. I think we might say it a few more times between now and the end as well. Certainly another knee knocker coming up for Spilkova, but every time we've seen her, she seems to pass the test with flying colours.
She looks very calm. As we saw with the previous group in this 12th green, it's not easy to negotiate this ridge.
For a moment there, I thought she wasn't going to stay up there. I think she may have thought it for a moment or two as well.
Pins in the middle of the green.
Yeah, you kind of write off Charlie Hull at your peril, don't you, really? But there's been nothing so far today to suggest this is going to be a winning day from her. Another delightful shot from Derry. Right now, you have to say, really, of the chasing pack, she does look the danger girl, doesn't she?
She's the one most likely, yeah.
And it kind of, you feel, is a little easier in her position chasing, rather than Spilkova, who knows they're trying to claw her in.
Would you rather have a two-shot lead? Or
well, I mean, naturally, I'd like a two-shot, a bit pressure-wise, you'd think.
Yeah.
You know, Derry knows it's got to keep making birdies, got to keep making birdies.
But at some stage, she's got to maybe go for it when, you know, perhaps she'd just prefer to keep grinding it out. Good two-putt from where she was.
Yeah, phew. Yeah, slightly downhill this putt for Spilkova. Better movement as well. It's a very tricky putt. I'll move a little bit from right to left as she putts it. And she has looked solid in all departments of her game. She has a very wide putting stance, doesn't she? Well,
That little bit of movement from right to left.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a drop shot. She still has the lead. But it's back down to a fragile one once again. And bear in mind, Valentine Derry will have a birdie putt coming up at 13 as well, from around 15, 20 feet or so. Third drop shot of the round for our tournament leader.
Holly Clyburn.
Into the par 5 14th, there's water down the left-hand side. But could well be another birdie for Holly.
Very well judged. Lang to stay 4 under.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of encouragement for Lang and Jorgensen. They've made up a little bit of ground. They're now just 3 shots behind the leader after that drop shot from Spilkova. So this for Derry to join the young Czech girl at the top of the leaderboard here. Back 9 of this final round of the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. She's got it. Oh, she's got it.
It's a 2-shot swing.
Well, what a pivotal moment that could be. The drop shot from Spilkova on 12, the birdie from Derry at 13. And confirmation that it's Derry, Spilkova, and then a 3-shot gap. Well, Charlie needs a bit of that, doesn't she? Well, she's got the leader in her sights, as much as she's now playing alongside the co-leader, but she's a fair way adrift. 4 shots off the lead. It's listen, we've seen stranger things happen. But it's Valentine Derry who has joined Klara Spilkova at the top. A 2-shot swing in the last 5 minutes. Spilkova's 2-shot lead disappearing in a flash. There's plenty of drama to come. Felicity Johnson, who was performing actually well a couple of weeks ago in America before falling away over the weekend. Making a good fist of things in the final round. 1 hole left to play. Just an iron needed off the tee from Vicky on this hole. It's only 334 yards. I don't know if she'll be aware that Derry has joined at the top. There are are some leaderboards dotted around, but don't think there's one until they get to the 14th green. That's still a spring in her step.
She plays with a smile.
Obviously a big Dennis the Menace fan. And those of you who don't know, Dennis the Menace is a cartoon character from a magazine called The Beano. Is The Beano still going? I don't think it is.
Question. My kids don't read it if it is.
It's all very friendly out there. They're side by side, Jorgensen and Lang, literally on the leaderboard as well. A good crowd following this group. Well, it's very nicely poised, isn't it? Half a dozen holes or so to go in this final round of the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. They were trying to chase her down all day. She had a 4-shot lead at one stage early in this round, Klara Spilkova. But she's showing a very refreshing attitude. I'm not sure that she knows she has been caught because there aren't any leaderboards in the vicinity of where she is. Too far back to start the day, Holly Clyburn, but she's playing very nicely. And this for a 4th birdie of the round. Well, I put the kiss of death on her, didn't I?
You did.
She's going to get a new experience in a couple of weeks in Holland, defending a title for the first time. This is the 14th tee, and it's a little bit backed up there, par 5 that you can reach into. So some of the players obviously waiting ahead for the green to clear before they can play their second shot. But no such delays behind at 13. And in good position here, Vicky Lang.
Pin is towards the middle of the green. I'm not sure she likes it. With good reason.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, she got out of the bed the wrong way this morning. It's, you know, tee shot at the first, clatters into the trees. You know, I saw her yesterday evening after she finished. It was a beautiful evening on the veranda. She finished very late because there was a 2-hour delay in play yesterday. The sun really was starting to disappear when she was, you know, full of it. She was delighted with the way she played. But tomorrow, particularly Sunday, is always another day.
She must have finished her round under the lights.
Yes, she did. Yeah, there were some floodlights on the 80th. They automatically come on. Well, she is swinging it beautifully, Valentine Derry. Alberto on the bag. He was caddying for Virginia Espejo the first 2 rounds, but she missed the cut. Valentine's challenging for the lead. She had a local caddy the first couple of days. I wonder what percentage he gets if she does put it off. Maybe only a third of the price, seeing as he only did one of the 3 days. That started down the right-hand side, and it stayed down the right-hand side. That's 3 in the last 4 holes that have gone down the right-hand side. Has she kicked back onto the fairway again?
I'm not sure that was her ball. If it is, it's another huge slice of luck. But tee to green, she's been really good previous
Yeah.
couple of rounds, but
Got the rights off the tee today. Certainly over the last half an hour or so. Another firm bounce. Must have just caught the downslope. Make mine a cold one. Well, co-leader needing a bit of refreshment. Well, she was challenging in China earlier in this season. She was second heading into the weekend, fell away, but you learn from those kind of things. She finished second at the French Open, one of a trio of French girls who was denied by Azahara Munoz. Also second at the Indian Open, so she's been
there
knocking
or
on the door,
thereabouts,
hasn't
yeah.
she, Derry?
yeah.
Right at it from Jorgensen. So I was very impressed. I was lucky enough to be at the Buckinghamshire last summer. Of course, Kari Webb getting the win, but Spilkova was right up there, and she looks a proper player, doesn't she? She's still a student. She's, as you see the ball there, it's finished with Vicky Lang out of the bunker. But here we go, you can see it. There you are. It's nicely played. But going back to Spilkova, she's got her final exams coming up in August, September time. So she's going to focus on those, and then after that, the golf becomes a full-time job. I wonder what will happen if she wins here today, because at the beginning of September is one of the majors, the Evian Masters, or the Evian Championship as it's now known, and she may well qualify for that if she wins here. Still, nice problem to have. Long way to go before she can have it.
Should be par for Spilkova.
Yeah, I think it was important she didn't leave herself another 5-6 footer.
Yeah.
She's played Junior Solheim Cup, Junior Ryder Cup. She's only 19, but she has travelled all four corners of the world. That was at 15 for Jade Schaefer.
Jorgensen for birdie. Came out of her stance very quickly. Holes running out for Melina Jorgensen to put pressure on the co-leaders.
Yeah, but it can all change so quickly. You know, we've got 14 and 15 par fives and a tricky little par three. 17's the hardest hole on the course. Charlie Hull just laying up here at the par 5 14th after her errant tee shot. She did hit the trees and she came not back on the fairway, back to there, which was still pretty fortunate, and of course it meant that she was a fair way back and not able to reach into. But 17's tougher than 18, of course, the water down the left-hand side where we've seen plenty of birdies, but a couple of doubles as well. So I don't even think with a 2-3 shot lead heading into the final three you feel that secure. Good up and down that from Vicky Lang.
She stays 3 shots off the lead. So no damage done for Spilkova.
It's tight at the top. It's the 26-year-old from Paris, Valentine Derry, and the 19-year-old from the Czech Republic, Klára Spilková, with a 3-shot cushion over Lang and Jorgensen. Charlie Hull, you can't rule her out just yet, but Hull starting to run out. Derry and Spilková lead the way. Saw Gladys Nacera there, picked up another birdie, 16. She's 2 under for the day, back to 1 under. If she hadn't had that 79 yesterday, we may have been talking about another French lady in contention. Stacey Lee Bregman there, 1 over par. She finished runner-up here the first year of this Turkish Ladies Open when it was won by Lotte Valen. Won it by 12 shots.
Destroyed the field, didn't she?
Yeah. Amy Bolden, winner last week of the Access Series event, made the cut, but not really threatened at the top.
Maybe so, but you do get the feeling that there's some really good young players around.
Yeah, one called Hull right there.
She's not bad.
Yeah. But it's Derry who's hogging the limelight in this group right now at 7 under. Also like Charlie Hull laid up in 2 shots. First hosted events here in as far as professional events here back in 1996. They hosted the Turkish Senior Open that year and the following. The Access Series will be back here in September. So 3 pro events in the year. National Golf Club is a busy place as far as professional golf is concerned. Yeah, just look at the trees there on the right hand side. It does seem to be as windy as it has been, although this is a fairly exposed part of the course. Charlie Hull and Valentine Derry waiting for Krista Backer, who's in their group, to have a pop at the green here in 2. She's within reach, and given the way she's played today, I suppose she's feeling like she should go for things. Back at level par. This is the par 5 14th hole. Krista Backer there, Finland, was in reach for 2, but couldn't quite make the dance floor. Just layups for Valentine Derry and Charlie Hull. We will just have a flick of a wedge into this very accessible pin position. You really, given where both players are, you'd fancy at least one of them to make birdie, Nigel.
There is water on the left. That shouldn't affect either of these players, nor Backer, who is just in front of the bunker to the right-hand side. Of the green. Back on the tee with Malena Jorgensen.
Found the trees. I recognise that chopper from our hotel. Charlie Hull went in that the other day. On Tuesday she went up there. She said, when I make my first 6 million, I might get myself one of those.
Oh, well.
This could this come down the slope? Could this? No, I think it's going to stick there. What a pity. Wasn't far away from being very good for Valentine Derry. Yeah, I don't think it'll be long before she does make her first 6 million, do you?
I don't know that her dad Dave's going to sanction spending £6 million.
It's her money. It's in her name. In fact, actually, she said last year she obviously earned a lot of money, and I asked her what she's bought, and she said just that the only thing she bought with any expense was a handbag. That's very nice from Charlie Hull. Yeah, in Morocco, though, when she won, she also won an expensive purse, didn't she? And this young lady in Morocco got to have dinner with Prince Andrew. A number of the golfers got invited to sit and have dinner with His Royal Highness. Also clattering in the trees, but what a good break that is from Klara Spilkova. I think it must take out reaching the green in 2 from her, but so, you know, equation is simple, she'll lay up, but that could easily have ricocheted the other way.
Schaefer for birdie.
She has her look, doesn't she, Schaefer?
Yeah, she likes a hat.
Yeah, last year Charlie was wearing all sorts of hats before she got the sponsor on board. Of course, it was 8 weeks ago, but it was the last event on the Ladies European Tour season where, just shy of her 18th birthday, Charlie Hull in Morocco did the business. Lala Merriam Cup played the same week as the Trophy Ascendeur on the European Tour. And Charlie Hull with a final round 62. Absolutely mesmeric. Trish Johnson and many other players playing some fine shots there that week as well. Gladys Nacera, though, was the one to catch going into the final round. In fact, the tee shot at the playoff hole, which meant glory for the very first time for Charlie Hull. What a shot to play in. After playing a 62, birdies the first playoff hole and breaks the heart of Gladys Nacera, who couldn't quite make her birdie putt. The first of many, you feel, for Gladys Nacera. Dad enjoyed it, we all enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing how her career progresses over the coming decades. She is a star. Interesting, actually, they do these surveys which are anonymous, and players on the LPGA Tour asked who's going to have the biggest future in B Park, Jessica Korda or Charlie Hull. Charlie only got 3% of the votes.
Derry for the lead. Ooh.
Lydia Ko was the one that got the majority, but I think
she's already won on the LPGA Tour, hasn't she?
Yeah. She's had an incredible career already, and she's younger than Charlie. Well, pity for Valentine Derry, given where she was in 2. A missed opportunity. And you kind of feel like it's now or never for Charlie Hull, don't you? And she's missed a few of these this week. She can't afford to miss any more. She's got one. Second birdie of the back 9, and hello. Is there life in the Charlie Hull fight back yet?
4 to play.
Well, she's within 3 shots of the leaders again. And bear in mind, she was 7 shots behind this lady at one stage in this final round, and she hasn't really done anything.
Oh, right into the trees from Spilkova. Oh, bounces out onto the fairway.
You know, sometimes it's your day. She won't be thinking that at the moment. She'll just be disgusted with the shot. But that ball is certainly one you'd keep. Unless it's got dent marks from hitting too many trees.
Unless it's damaged. She hit the tree hard enough. That was Vicky Lang's ball that she's laying up.
There it is, a perfect temperature to play or watch golf. I love the way everyone walks behind the groups. Reminds me of those old celebrity pro-ams you used to watch on TV.
Oh, the Shell Wonderful World of Golf as well.
Well, Jorgensen not getting the break that our co-leader Clara Spilkova had. Yellow square mark there, which is 72 yards to the hole. Been today on 14 paces.
And in case you're wondering, it is preferred lies. You can mark the ball, pick it up and clean it and replace it.
You know, we look back on moments in tournaments, and I wonder whether this is Clara Spilkova's moment. Tee shot in the trees, second shot in the trees, and wonder whether she can wedge it up and down to make birdie as Holly Clyburn misses another putt. Charlie Hull off the 15th tee. Well, that's gone down the left-hand side. There's a little bit of room there. Well, that yellow marker that I thought was the one further up the hole. This is the one actually with still 171 yards to go. So she's got 190 in.
Looks good in the air.
Oh, what a shot.
Just hold. Oh.
It was still a terrific shot. But suddenly, things not as pretty for Clara Spilkova. Also heading towards the bunker, turning in beautifully and coming in with an iron, able to get it to land softer. Well, this is a very tantalisingly poised part of the afternoon, isn't it? I'm afraid for Holly Clyburn it's being part of the also-rans here. But in terms of who's going to win, well, I think you can go and say that there's 4 or 5 players here. Vicky Lang, Malene Jorgensen, Charlie Hull, Clara Spilkova and Valentine Derry, who will still have thoughts of winning this Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. Charlie Hull also in that group at 4 under. As well as Jorgensen and Vicky Lang. Must be nice to have a caddy that's been with you such a long time, since she was 14 years older, and he's been on the bag. And you see so many players. I think Marlene's going to have to mark our ball pretty close to where Vicky wants to land it. But you see so many players chop and change their caddy. I mean, and he's pretty much followed Vicky all around the world. And she played out in America at the start of her career, now back in Europe.
It's very comforting to have someone you completely trust on the bag, and give you advice and encouragement, and know exactly when to talk to you, when not to talk to you. And
but she's had her struggles as well, and sometimes players will use that to use an excuse to get rid of the bag man, but she obviously trusts his knowledge. That's an excellent shot. Of course, this is where she played the shot of the week to set up an eagle chance from similar range yesterday. She's played this hole in 3 under par so far this week, and there may be a chance to maybe improve on that.
Cliburn on the par 3 16th, 168 yards today. And perhaps hoping that it was just going to come back off that slope, but it stays up.
A couple of 71s out on the course today, which is 2 under. Felicity Johnson had a 71. Isabelle Boineau had a 71. 70 from Sophie Walker with 69 yesterday, 67 on day one. Scoring maybe not as low as we thought.
Oh no.
And now she's got a horror stance as well for what will be shot number 5. Her luck seems to have run out.
She was pushing it.
She needs first of all, she needs to take her time for the obvious, but second of all, that ball's not lying that nicely. She's got an awkward stance, and there's a certain bit of water waiting beyond if she does catch this wrong. She's very close to the lip as well. Apart from that, it's all looking good. Well, it's been
as could be expected, I think, from there.
Well, it's been a miserable hole though, hasn't it? From start to wherever the finish may be. This bunker shot was okay.
Yeah, I mean it's online.
Well, she was a little unfortunate, wasn't she, with the third?
Very.
She kind of used up all that luck, didn't she? Really, with the 2 shots coming out off the trees and onto the fairway. But well, it's going to be interesting to see how she recovers from this, Spilkova. She's had some setbacks early on in the round, and she seemed to recover well from them. But it's fair to say, I mean, Spilkova has already had 3 bogeys this week. She's about to have her 4th. Whereas Valentine Derry, well, she's only had 4 bogeys all week. She has made the fewest mistakes of anyone out there. Just to get Jorgensen within 2 shots of the lead. Well, I know she's been working really hard on her putting, Marlene Jorgensen. Didn't show there, did it?
Missed opportunity.
Putter gets a smack. Well, they're all big putts, aren't they? They're all big moments when you're in the heat of the battle and holes are running out. But A reachable par 5. And this to come away with a 6. Oh dear, dear, dear.
It's going to be a double.
Is that checkmate? Well, huge disappointment for Clara Spilkova.
The smile has gone after that double, and what kind of impact will that have on her front nine? She bogeyed 6 and then promptly bogeyed 7, so she's got to put it out of her mind.
Can you get in the mindset where, okay, I'm 2 shots off the lead, I'm in contention, I can still win my first tournament, or do you just feel the sorrow of what was a horrible 7? And incredibly, all 3 of these players could walk off this green at 5 under par. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Well, the par 5 14th has taken a prisoner here in Clara Spilkova. And it all means that Valentine Derry leads the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open by 2 shots. Clyburn coming towards the end of her round. Not really in the thick of things, but still looking like she might post the top 10.
Spilkova has dropped 3 shots in 3 holes, and it's opened it up for Valentine Derry, who now leads the tournament for the first time.
Look at that 2-shot lead. I doubt she'll know right now that Spilkova's wheels have come off at 14. This is at the par 5 15th. And you can see she's quite a lot way ahead of Backer there in the rear of the picture. That's because Derry's laid up in 2, and Backer, like Charlie Hull, is going to try and get to this 489-yard par 5 in 2. Charlie feels she can get there with an iron. Breeze must be helping down this hole. They're actually thinking of pushing the tee forward here today, but they kept it as it is. It's a wonderful shot, isn't it?
That had cheese on it, didn't it? Phew.
She is in it. The spark is back.
I wonder what distracted her.
I don't know. Didn't put her off,
No,
whatever it was.
It didn't at all.
She was a long way up there, wasn't she, Charlie? I mean, that was a huge drive if she did get there with an iron, but I was told it was her second shot. Whatever it was a terrific shot. It's either a birdie or an eagle chance. Either way, a chance to take a step forward. This, for sure, Derry's third. She she likes it too. Oh, it was right at it. I've got a feeling that's Charlie Hull there for 3 personally. Well, can she pick herself up here, Clara Spilkova? Nice tee shot.
She needs a good hole, doesn't she? After a couple of wobbles on 12 and 14.
Try to get the second shots here.
So problems for one-time leader Clara Spilkova, had a 4-shot lead earlier on this afternoon at the National Golf Club in Belek. But right now, she's among the chasers. Valentine Derry, who had the equal best round of the day yesterday and going along so well today, leads by 2 suddenly at 7 under par. Charlie Hull in birdie range at 15, getting closer to the top.
Another couple of French ladies on the second page of the leaderboard. Alexandra Felat. Level par. Shane Schaefer also level par with 2 to play. Nicole Brock Larsen, the rookie from Denmark, leading the Rolex Rookie of the Year going into the tournament. Stacey Lee Bregman had some form coming into Turkey, but not to be her week. Here is our leader, Valentine Derry. For birdie, this to make it a 3-shot lead. Par for the Parisian.
Yeah, all means Charlie Hull, suddenly their eyes must be getting a little wider. Maybe, maybe. I did say right her off at your peril. But I've also seen her miss a few of these this week as well. And just to confirm my feelings, as we're proved right, this is for birdie for her. That was a huge drive, although she was coming in from a fairway with a third, but a chance to get to within 2. Charlie Hull is in contention at the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. And you know she won't be holding back. Charlie Hull in contention at the Turkish Airlines Ladies Opens with those back-to-back birdies at the back-to-back par 5s. And she's currently tied for second now, 5 under, along with Spilkova, along with Jorgensen as well.
Vicky Lang second shot on the par 5 15th.
this week really does show us, once again, regarding Charlie Hull, her capabilities, because again, she hasn't, I mean, she's played very well tee to green, but she's left so many shots out there on the greens. And here she is, right in the thick of things, tied for second.
Well, earlier in her round, she wasn't that good tee to green. It's been the loosest we've seen her play this week. But, you know, that was a wonderful approach shot that set up that birdie opportunity. Jorgensen on 15.
Well, as I suspected, it was a third shot that was the glorious one from Charlie Hull at the previous hole, the par 5 that set her up for the birdie opportunity. And these were the kind of putts that she's missed, or maybe 4, 5, even 6 of this week. But her eyes are getting wider, the chance of a win getting greater, and Charlie Hull coming towards the end of this week here in Turkey. 16, 17 and 18 to play. Finds herself just 2 shots behind Valentine Derry, the lady who's right beside her there on this par 3 16th tee. She has a wonderful record here, does Charlie Hull. I mean, she finished runner-up here last year. She actually played here as an amateur 2 years ago, and she came close to winning that year as well. She finished 5th as a 16-year-old here a couple of years ago. Was hardly surprised when she came onto the tour and did well, but no one expected her to have 5 runners-ups in her first 5
unprecedented
professional events.
It'll probably never be done again.
I think Annika Sorensen had a very similar kind of start, but I'm not going to start putting Charlie in
just yet.
That breath just yet. Yeah, she's certainly a special talent. Well, there was the lady who was leading the way on day one, Heather McRae, having a tough day out there. Far from being in contention right now, I'm afraid, Heather. She's all the way back at, I think 4 over par now, or 4 over par. She's 7 over for the day. So this is kind of, I know there's others in contention. You know, you can't roll out Spilkova at the moment, but this is kind of that match play situation, isn't it? Charlie Hull playing in the same group with Valentine Derry here. She's able to tee off first. There's water waiting, back left, back right. The pin today, though, really isn't in a position where he should be anywhere near the water. But a chance for Hull after the birdie at the previous 2 holes to strike first at this par 3, playing 168 yards today. Really what was required.
Well, that's an error from Hull. Now Lang. Maybe 1 or 2 branches that come into play with this shot. Very nicely played.
Well, it's I mentioned it earlier about Spilkova having the heat on her. She was the one being chased. Now is it Derry's time to feel the pressure? Having to go in with a wood here. 168 yards. Oh, it's an absolute beauty.
Advantage Derry.
Yeah, Morgan Pressel's one of those that can hit those laser-like wooden clubs, or metal woods, really, as we should call them. And that's a super shot from Valentine. Well, it's been a really good stage, hasn't it, this National Golf Club? There's a lot of risk and reward out there, plenty of birdies to be had, but we've seen countless players being tripped up, and even if Derry was to pop that putt in, tough 17th and 18th to come. Nothing's done and dusted yet. Spilkova, well, trying to fight back. Oh, not another bunker. It's incredible, isn't it? You don't find a bunker all day, then you make a nonsense of the previous hole and you're in sand again.
Her round is coming apart. Bogey on 12, double on 14. Now in trouble on 15.
Okay.
Well, it's been a really good battle at the top. You have to say Valentine Derry, though, had a fabulous round yesterday to put herself in contention, and then to go out there today after shooting that 69, and she's 3 under again for the day. A chance to get 4 under for the round again after opening with a 73 here in round 1. 73 the par, by the way.
Be very interested to see how Valentine Derry copes over the next 3 holes or so. Will she be intimidated by Charlie Hull, knowing that she's just 2 shots behind?
Well, I have to say the 17th, that's a tough test for anyone, never mind a tournament leader, but you only can be impressed by the way she hit that tee shot at 16. I mean, it really was a sensational hit.
Well, that's not an orthodox follow through from Jorgensen, but pin high.
Well, sometimes you need a bit of magic, but I'm afraid Charlie Hull there has hit it fat. And no sooner the excitement that she might be able to close in on the leader, she may see a 2-shot swing here. There'll be her putting for par before we see the leader putting for birdie. Well, very nicely played from Spilkova, but also a bit of work to do for par. I'm afraid Backer was out of it a long time ago. Well, if Charlie Hull misses this, she certainly makes life a little bit easier, doesn't she, for Valentine Derry?
Back on 15 with Jorgensen.
Well, that's a killer blow, isn't it, for Charlie Hull? It's kind of taking things out of her hands, really. I mean, if she is to have any chance now, she's relying on Valentine Derry slipping up. Not a good tee shot. Poor chip. Lost a lot of the putt. And bogey 4 after those back-to-back birdies.
She's lost that momentum. She was building up ahead of steam. A mistake off the tee.
And it kind of makes this putt a little easier for Valentine Derry in some respect. I was talking about that match play situation. It'll be very nice. This for a 3-shot lead with 2 holes to play. Looking for her maiden tour title, Valentine Derry. Well, the positive thing there from Valentine is it was a good roll at the hole. It didn't look a nervous putt. Just a slight misread.
So got a 2-shot cushion. But has she seen off the challenge of Charlie Hull?
Can Lang get herself back in it? No.
Par for Lang. 5th in a row. Spilkova challenge is fading. She seemed to be in such a good position, didn't she, an hour or so ago?
Yeah, the smile was there, the spring was in the step, and it looked as if the Czech Republic might have a golfing hero, but it looks as if time will have to wait. Charlie Hull, I'm sure, will be very frustrated, but the picturesque walk from the 16th green to the 17th tee is a more pleasant one for Valentine Derry. But this is the hardest hole on the course this week, the 17th. 383 yards. It's just a tough driving hole, really. Too far left, you're pretty much stuffed. Trees, a bit of water down the right hand side as well. New bunker there down the right too, that's been put in at 248 yards. Charlie Howe actually birdied this yesterday. She needs one here again, doesn't she? Derry has played the last 2 holes in level par, both on day 1 and round 2. If she pars them again, well, you can't see anyone beating her. And that number that we were talking about, Nigel, around this time yesterday, 7 under par, could well be the magic number. Here's confirmation that it is a 3-shot lead for Hull, because Jorgensen has let a shot go. Spilkova's let one back as well, both at 4 under. Well, she did that on her approach to the last green. It went a bit left. This one went a bit left as well.
Well, something's not working quite right.
Now, that's the hole where she had a double bogey yesterday. Derry finds the fairway by the looks of it. That's a fantastic drive. And you have to say, the hardest part is over. Because although 18 is a tricky little hole, water down the left-hand side, it's certainly a little wider. And Valentine Derry with a 3-shot lead, finding the fairway at 17. That was a big moment. Well, no one, it looks, is looking like they're going to make a challenge. That's a nice 2-shot down the right hand side. But overhooked it for Charlie Hull, and I think that's it as far as she's concerned. You don't make birdie from there.
I don't think it's in her nature to look at it and say, well, I'm happy with tied 2nd or 3rd. She wants to go for it, and 17, you run the risk.
Well, the par 5s have been Spilkova's undoing. Comes up short at 16. Well, is there any stopping young Valentine Derry off the back of what was her best ever season on the Ladies European Tour in 2013, Well, it might be about to get better here in 2014. The Turkish Airline Ladies Open right now is in her hands. Charlie Hull in a tie for second, but I think she knows the game must be pretty much up. It's hard to see Derry slipping up from the middle of the 17th fairway. Spilkova, well, it's a case of what could have been. Vicky Lang and Marlene Jorgensen, they just got off to sticky starts and haven't been able to retrieve the situation since. Sophie Giquel-Bertin, looking like she might have another top 10 finish on the Ladies European Tour. Alexandra Villatte got things going earlier on. In the end, has to settle for level par. Well, it's turning into a pleasant walk on a summer's afternoon in Turkey for Valentine Derry. This is the Russian Maria Balikoeva. It's up on the 17th green now, and that's in the hole.
Good shot.
Well, of course, you never know in golf. Unassailable leads sometimes are penetrated, but for Valentine Derry here, smack bang in the middle of the 17th fairway with a 3-shot lead. Right now, things are looking very rosy indeed. Charlie Hull in trouble down the left-hand side, you can see completely blocked out. Spilkova and Jorgensen and Lang behind, also at 4 under par, but no one really in birdie range at the par 3 16th. And here is Spilkova just off the front of the green.
Well, she's played that nicely. But her challenge faded a few holes ago.
Well, there's some great young English talent. We've been talking about that with Charlie Hull, but of course France has also produced some fine players over the years on the Ladies European Tour. You know, the thing with Charlie Hull is she'll see a shot here and, you know, she kind of knows the game's up. She will try it. There'll be no playing safe here. This will be hit it low, hook it round, try and stick it to 2 feet. And she's capable of pulling it off. That's the point, really. She in fact, I think she relishes this situation.
Well, if she pulls this one off, it will be a miracle. Did it draw, she says to a caddy.
No. She tried. She failed. Yeah, I think she's more disappointed with that than any other shot she hit today.
Lang having missed the 16th green with her tee shot.
Anywhere on the green will do for Valentine.
Looks good in the air.
It is on the green. All she needs now is to be solid. Spectacular not required, and in fact you have to say the last 2 days she has just been rock solid. Hello. Maybe there is someone that can claw back the lead.
Runs an end of 6 pars in a row from Melina Jorgensen.
Well, that makes things a little more interesting. The Dane gets to 5 under par. The lead's back to 2. Stranger things have certainly happened. But Derry is looking like a golfer in control. That's the point, really. She hasn't needed too many spectacular moments. You don't really when you only have 4 bogeys all week long. Last season was her first season really fully committed to the Ladies European Tour. In the last few years, she'd split her time with playing in America, where she has won. She won on the Symetra Tour, the second tier in America, back in 2011. Now, on a high yesterday, hitting a low today, Vicky Lang. Still set for a good finish. Winning prize here is €37,500. Well, the good news for Charlie Hull is she's found a clean and clear route to the flag. Good up and down for Spilkova, but well, the anticipation of the back nine, it's an anticlimactic feeling for her right now, isn't it? Just talking things through with her caddy Gary Wildman here. Charlie Hull. Just looking to see where she wants to land it. She pretty much knows she has to hold this to have any hope at all. Game well and truly over, I think, now. Well, like Charlie Hull, Valentine Derry knows what it's like to have the near misses. Of course, Charlie had those 5 runner-up last seasons before winning on the last Ladies European Tour event. This young lady had 2 runners-up finishes last season. Maybe now is her time. And again, you have to say a positive looking putt. There's nothing nervy about the way she's playing right now. And you'd expect it to be a little nervy, really. Probably inside, the stomach's churning and the palms are getting a bit sweaty, but she's not showing it, is she?
No, she looks very calm.
Little fiddle with the earring.
But that's her game, you know, she just does her own thing, goes along, you know, laying up, getting close, putting the putts in. She's come close a couple of times, but now she's on the verge of that breakthrough win.
Unfortunately, it's a big hold, but not for what she needed, which was a birdie. Incredible, isn't it? She couldn't buy a putt all week, really. Probably the biggest putt of the tournament. Jorgensen's the only one really, given the fact that she's 5 under. She could birdie 17 and 18. That really has hope.
Big ask, isn't it?
Of catching there. It's a big up, but it's possible. She's got to drive away, which is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Offline again. I think lessons learned from Clara Spilkova. I don't know if she'll be saying, what does pressure mean again ahead of a final round. I think she surely must have felt it a little bit. There's a bit of work left in this, and one or two of the players have said that the greens can be a little crusty in places. No problem at all. Nonchalant, in fact.
Nonchalant.
Mais oui. 1 hole left to play. 2 shots the lead for Valentine Derry.
Lang on 17. One of a number of players that have threatened to do really well at this tournament, but have failed to see it through. And all the while, there's been Valentine Derry making serene progress. Melina Jorgensen's another one.
She hasn't given up on it just yet. Lovely tee shot down the right hand side here at 17. Just hold a big putt at 16. No. Well, my Danish isn't that good, but I reckon that means no.
I think you're right.
She was trying to play a low cut into that. Didn't quite get the connection she wanted, and that's probably going to make life a little easier for Valentine. Well, I shouldn't think this one's heading down the left-hand side. It's an excellent tee shot. It is a little left, isn't it? But wow, that's in a ideal spot. Wow. She might be getting a bit of that sprayed on her pretty soon.
And the champers. Well, we haven't seen much of Krista Backer from this group.
Well, she started with an 8, didn't she?
Yes, but it's been a good experience for her.
Yeah, first time in a final group. Only her second event as a pro on the Ladies European Tour. The caddy there, Timo, is one of the coaches on the European Tour, coaches the likes of Mikko Ilinen. Looks after Minnaert Blomqvist on the Ladies European Tour as well, amongst others. Well, so often it's about Charlie Hull, isn't it? Not today. It's Valentine Derry who has grabbed the limelight here in this penultimate group in the final round. The Parisian, it would seem, marching on to victory. And it will be a wonderful fulfillment for her. And the next step on the ladder.
Not for the first time on this back nine. Spilkova finds the sand.
Yeah, for a while we thought it was all going to be Clara Spilkova hitting the headlines, but it's Valentine Derry who is very close here to getting the job done on the Mediterranean coast in Belek. 2 shots her lead, 1 hole to play, and Valentine Derry safely down the 18th fairway. Marlene Jorgensen short of the green at 17. She has to birdie the last 2 holes. Otherwise, Derry is the champion of the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. And look at that from Gladys Nocera, suddenly inside the top 10, despite the 79 on her card yesterday. She had an 81 in the first round last year and finished just outside the top 10. She seems to be able to do it for all but one of the rounds here. One year, I'm sure she'll get it completely right. Well, her compatriot certainly has been doing that. There'll be a little weight here, but I don't think Derry will mind too much. She does have a little bit of water to carry. But from what we've seen from her, chatting away, just a stroll around a golf course. Alberto's doing his part to keep her relaxed.
The batteries run out on these.
Well, another bunker for Spilkova.
Well, she's out first time this time. So I'm not sure this is helpful for Valentine Derry. And she chats to her caddy to take her mind off the delay as the players up ahead slowly start to clear the green.
Yeah, I certainly think it wouldn't be helpful if she was an awkward spot, but she's hit the ball so solidly off the last few tees, and it's just hard to see how she is going to slip up from where she is.
Long birdie opportunity. Took a bobble and runs away.
The job is almost done, isn't it, for Valentine Derry? A little bit of a wait here on the 18th fairway while they wait for the green to clear. But it's a case here of anywhere but the water. Jorgensen is not going to make birdie at 17. In fact, no guarantee she's going to make par. And it's hard to see anything other than a Derry victory right now. Out of the bunker to hit, Spilkova for par. Oh, it's been a torrid hour or so, hasn't it, for Clara? Another bogey. 5 shots gone in the last 6 holes.
Well, when she sees the result in the paper, it might not look so bad, but she'll know that she had an opportunity to chalk up her first win.
Yeah, pink didn't prove to be the winning colour after all for her. So this is Jorgensen for par. If she doesn't make it, it'll be a 3-shot lead again. Well, the putter's working nicely at the end here, isn't it? She missed a short little one, didn't she? A couple of holes ago, Jorgensen. But that's 2 good putts in a row. Just hang on to the left lip. Par putt for Vicky Lang as well. Well, still they wait. Back on the 18th fairway. Oh, looks ready to strike. Right, that's it. Well, she had to hold it, didn't she? Of course, Felipe Aguilar did it last week on the European Tour out in Singapore. Now, I can't believe that is the line Valentine Derry's going to take. As good as she's been playing, surely she can't float with the water here. She's walking after it. She loves it. She absolutely loves it. And a little help off Charlie Hull's ball as well. That is job done. Well, I suppose when you're completely in control of your game, then you don't see any problems, do you? Look at that, she almost landed it in the hole.
It's very straight.
How sweet a feeling must this be for Valentine Derry? Well, it is a lovely setting here around the 18th at the National Golf Club, the veranda overlooking the 18th green. The signature hole on this golf course. And it's certainly a course that Valentine Derry will remember. Yes, she did win America 3 years ago. And take nothing away from winning on the Symetra Tour, but this is a real breakthrough for her.
It's been a really assured performance, hasn't it? Encapsulated in that approach shot to the 18th.
Yeah, it's just been quietly and calmly assured, as you say. She's just crept up, and while others charged forward and then slipped back, she just kept slowly pushing down the accelerator. We have to feel that Derry's not going to do worse than make par, which means Jorgensen has to make 2. It's a big drive.
It's a big hit.
She cut the corner there a little. She's only got about 70 yards in from there, or maybe 80, given the fact the pin's on 29 paces now. All the drivers are coming out now. Vicky Lang also going for broke. She can probably get it right up there with Jorgensen too. Except this one is leaked a little further right. Not quite the tiger line.
Meanwhile, up ahead.
Unfortunately, more issues for Krista Backer. She started the day with a treble bogey. She's gone in the water here at 18 as well. Of course, caddy there to catch the ball. I think one more time and they'll be able to place it down. There you go. Well, let's hope this is a day that she has learned a lot from Krista Backer. It's obviously was going to be a big day in her life, being in the final group and then having it all ripped apart in a flash in the trees down the first, and suddenly you walk off with an 8 and all those dreams you had the night before have suddenly slipped away before you can really make them into any kind of reality. And the smile there for all to see. The smile of a champion. Well, there's one little goal left here for Valentine Derry. The best winning score at the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open, and I'm sure she won't give two jots about it, but the best winning score is 7 under par. Crystal Berlier managed it in 2012, and Lotte Varland did it in the inaugural event in 2008. Of course, only playing over 3 rounds here this week because of one day being wiped out, but this for an 8 under par total, and this to seal the win in style for Valentine Derry. Well, that's one of her worst putts all day. Now, it was a little clumsy as well, and instead of it being cozied on down by the hole, she's down on the haunches having a look at what's left for the par putt, and with Jorgensen,
Might be a little bit of life left in this one.
well, because Jorgensen's, I mean, she's a wedge away. I mean, she can put it close from where she is. Of course, if Derry knocks in the putt, then the chance of an eagle 2 is extremely remote, but the chance of a birdie 3 for Jorgensen is a possibility. Never really got things going early on today, Charlie Hull. There was a brief flicker, wasn't there, with birdies at 14 and 15. But I think that club is the one that has cost her really this week. Not so much today, but certainly in the week as a whole. This for a bogey 5 for Krista Backer. And that should add up to a 77. Leave her at 1 over par and outside the top 10 now. She's been fearless, she's been calm and assured. Can she do it one more time? It looks like it's Valentine's Day in Turkey. Valentin Deri with a breakthrough win, surely, at the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. Unless Marlene Jorgensen can hold her second shot down 18. It's an unlikely scenario, but I did mention Felipe Aguilar, the Chilean, who did it just a week ago at the 18th in Singapore. Not to be for Charlie Hull. No back-to-back Ladies European Tour titles, but for Valentin Deri, well, the champagne is on ice. In fact, it's Mother's Day in Turkey, not Valentine's Day, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, in fact, most places in the world it's Mother's Day today.
I hope it's not.
It's not in the UK. Don't worry, Nigel, you're safe. So Valentin Deri off to mark her card. I suppose she'll hear a roar if Jorgensen does something outrageous. It's all down to her. No, not her. Spilkova. No, it looked like it was down to her at one stage, didn't it? A 4-shot lead from the front 9 quickly disappeared. Steady splash. It's been that kind of back 9 for Klara Spilkova. Her dreams have well and truly drowned on the back 9 here. And I think, well, I'm pretty sure, you never know, but I'm pretty sure, given her game, given her youth, given the fact that she's still a student really, that her day will come, and not too far from now.
All started to come apart on the par 5 12th.
Yeah, it was
More
really
bogeys on that back 9.
It was the 14th though, wasn't it, when she clattered one tree, clattered another tree, bunker trouble. It was a rotten 7, wasn't it? And still, it's over for Spilkova, but it's not yet over for Marlene Jorgensen. This, though, from around 80 yards, has to go in. Never threatened. Nice shot, but never threatened the 2. And that means that Valentin Deri is our champion at the 2014 Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. A wonderful moment for the Parisian. The next step in her career has been well and truly taken. 7 under par, her winning total. Jorgensen may cut the lead down to 1, but a lead that cannot be passed. Valentin Deri is our champion in Belek. Well, Charlie Ho showing again that she's never far away at this course, is she? 2nd last year, 5th the year before, 3rd this time. And an equal best Ladies European Tour finish for Maria Alakoeva, Russian, here on kind of semi-home territory.
It'll be enough to keep Charlie Hull at the top of the Order of Merit as she heads to America tonight to play in a couple of tournaments over there in Virginia and Alabama.
Yeah, it's a pity. I looked it up. Someone asked Charlie this week, how you're excited about the US Open, and she said, I'm not in the US Open. And I thought, that can't be right. But I've looked through the qualifying process and she doesn't qualify. The only way she could do is go through actual qualifiers, because it's an open and you know there are. But I don't think she's going to go down that route. But it seems strange that she won't be in the second ladies major of the year, doesn't it, Charlie Hart? Well, what can we say about Clara Spill? Hello, someone's getting wet. What a waste of good champagne. Well, they invented the stuff, didn't they? Victory tastes sweet, doesn't it? Well, compare and contrast.
What could have been.
Spoke of her here playing her full shot at 18. Well, it's going to be another drop shot for Clara Spilkova, while the lady who usurped her is being drowned in champagne. It's only a case of what could have been for the Czech teenager. But it's great, isn't it, to see so many young aspirational golfers performing well on the Ladies European Tour. Charlie Holt, obviously the star of them all, but Spilkova showing that she has real potential here this week. But today wasn't the day. Well, a couple of years ago, Vicky Lang lost her playing rights on the Ladies European Tour, but this for joint third. Wants to get alongside Charlie Holt.
Well, when you've been through the experiences that Vicky Lang has in her golfing career, having to go back to Q school, suffering injury, third place or a top 5 finish at a tournament means an awful lot in terms of retaining a card for next season and boosting your confidence.
Well, this for a birdie finish for Marlene Jorgensen. This to cement her best ever finish on the Ladies European Tour. She had 2 putts for second place, and it means the winning margin for Valentine Derry is 2 shots. Well, like Vicky Lang, 2 6s on the front 9 that proved to be 2 mistakes too many. And that's really what it boiled down to, really. You saw what Spikova did on the back 9. Just 4 bogeys all week, Nigel, from our winner Valentine Derry, on a course where so many players were tripped up left, right and centre amongst the trees at the National Golf Club.
It's not a course where you can get the driver out at every hole and go for the pins and play an exciting attacking game. Course management is at a premium at the National.
Well, that concludes our 54 holes then of this Turkish Airlines Ladies Open, and what a super week it's been yet again for this 6th edition. And it's Valentine Derry who joins the likes of Lotte, Melissa Reid, Crystal Burleon and Leanne Pace as the name to be inscribed on the trophy. This proved to be the winning putt for Valentine Derry. And not long after she stepped off the 18th green, after a little hug from Alberto, Gladys Nacera led the race for the champagne spray. It really is a good waste, I suppose. So all that remains now for Valentine Derry maybe is a change of shirt, but also to pick up the first prize that's coming her way of €37,500 and a small matter of the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. In fact, I think we can hear from our winner, Valentine Derry.
Valentine Derry, congratulations. You started off a few shots behind, but you came back to win in style.
Yeah, I was very happy with myself. I played decent golf. Just kept patient on myself. Just play my own golf. Made some birdies, and it worked out finally.
Did you keep an eye on the leaderboard out there, or was it just solely focused on yourself?
No, I kind of look sometimes, so it was hard to try and come back on myself and just focus on my own game. But I did it, so I'm happy with that.
You came so close last year, especially in France, I remember. You told me then you would learn from it. What did you learn from it, and how much difference did that make out there today?
I think I just learned how to really stay patient and really play your own golf, because you can't really control what others do, and especially here with the course really tight. So that's what I did today. I really try and focus on my own golf, just play my shots and make my putts, and then I shot 3 under.
You putted really well out there today. A lot of people have struggled with the putts this week, but that was perhaps the key, wasn't it, that putting?
Yeah, it's funny because right before I left to come to Turkey, my putting wasn't really good. So I tried to do my best and just keep believing on my putting, and it worked out.
Congratulations.
Edgar Morse there with the questions to our champion Valentine Derry, and all that remains is for Bilan Boksuma, the owner of this National Golf Club course.
National Golf Club Turkey.
Very happy.
And this is
Thank
our
you.
trophy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bilan passes over the trophy. First on the Ladies European Tour for Valentine Derry. And she just made it sound so matter of fact, didn't she? But it pretty much matched the way she played the golf. Made it look easy. Others threatened, the likes of Charlie Hull and of course Klara Spilkova in particular. But it was Derry's day after all. A 2-shot victory, a 7 under par 3-round total. Our champion at the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. Top finish equalled by Maria Balikoeva on the Ladies European Tour alongside Vicky Lang. Spilkova has to settle for a tie for 6th place after finishing 3rd in Morocco. Sophie Joker-Batan finishes inside the top 10, as does Gladys Nacera, even though she had that round of 79 yesterday. So let's have a look at how Valentine Derry became our champion here this afternoon in Belek. First hole, well, she got off to the perfect start. Laid up in 2 at the par 5, 547 yards. Left herself an uphill putt. Starting the day at 4 under after a superb 69. Look at that, she was walking after it. Good 2-3 feet before it fell in. And interesting, Charlie Hull, who was just 2 feet away, she missed in the same group. She birdied 4, dropped a shot at 5, and she came to the turn knowing that she was looking to close down Spilkova, who she was a couple behind at this stage. But a lovely approach into the heart of the green at the first hole on the back 9 set up another birdie for her. This at the 13th. And again, similar kind of range really. This is around the point where Spilkova was making a mess of things. Dropped a shot at 12, so this was to get into a tie for the lead, and of course then Spilkova double bogeyed 14, wrapped up with a par putt for a first Ladies European Tour title. And, you know, it was mentioned in the interview there, Nigel, about the putting. Charlie went out there thinking, you know, I'm the winner here. The others in front of me haven't won, but despite playing some lovely shots like this, she just couldn't get close enough to the top.
It was just cold all week, and she missed a number of short ones. Missed one today on the first hole, and you just wondered after she had failed to put that in whether it really wasn't going to be her week. But you can't win every tournament.
No, funny enough, she actually started holding a few putts. She got lucky with the birdie there at 10 after going into the trees off the tee. Good putt for her. This was at 12. And outside birdie range. But it was the par 5s on the back 9 where she started to make a little bit of progress. Birdie here at 14, and then of course she birdied the very next at 15 as well. And then we thought,
she's back in it.
When this shot was stuck to within a couple of feet, you thought, Charlie Hull's breathing down your neck, Valentine Derry, watch out. But no sooner had she put herself in, she got herself out. Dropped a shot at 16, and then, well, she had a whole monster really for par at 17. But you can't sniff at the third place finish, can you, really?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's another good performance from Charlie Hull. And maybe she'll be disappointed that she didn't mount more of a challenge on the back 9, but Valentine Derry played some very steady, assured golf.
Well, here's the runner-up, Marlene Jorgensen. Started off with 2 6s in the first 3 holes. You thought that was that, but she bounced back with birdies at 4, at 6. And here she was at the 14th. This was her 4th shot, and it set up a very good par in the end. At the 16th, well, suddenly she put a few doubts into our minds, at least, with a birdie hold at the par 3 16th. She really needed a birdie 17 as well, but after getting a little too tight with the trees off the tee, she did well, like Charlie Hull, to make a par at that hole, and it all meant she had to hole her second shot at 18 to try and force a playoff, and she hit a big booming drive, but to be fair, this wedge never really had a chance.
Never threatened the hole.
But while Hull and Jorgensen were on the periphery really, without really threatening, one young lady seemed to have it within her grasp. Started the day with a smile, and that smile really stayed all the way through the front 9.
She played some lovely golf and was in charge, in control.
Yeah, she knocked that within birdie range at the first. Didn't make the putt, but she made birdies at the second and a third, and at one stage on the front 9 she had a 4-shot lead. Then she dropped shots at 6 and 7. But things were starting to move back in the right direction again for her on the back 9 before, well, the par 5s undid her. I mean, to play the 3 par 5s, the first of them here in 4 over. Bogey 6 at the 12th. This really was the one.
That was the shot right there.
After clattering in the trees, a third win in the bunker, it all meant a double bogey 7, and she couldn't recover. She dropped a shot at 16 as well. Another one went at 17, and then she went wet at 18. Just rubbing salt in the wounds, really, wasn't it?
It was. It was indeed. A disastrous back 9 for Spilkova.
So it wasn't Clara Spilkova's day. Of course, there can only be one winner, and it was Valentine Derry, the 26-year-old from Paris, who had a wonderful weekend, 69-70, after starting the second round at level par. Derry with a breakthrough Ladies European Tour win after runner-up finishes at the French and Indian Open last season. Charlie Hull heads to America in good form. First top 10 for Alexandra Villatte. So it's been a good week, Nigel, hasn't it? But Derry on top, and she was the one that made the fewest mistakes. I'm afraid it pretty much came down to that.
Yes, 4 bogeys and 11 birdies in her 3 rounds of golf. She was very steady, and she let the others make the mistakes.
Well, how nice that everything ends in the sunshine here at the National Golf Club in Belek in the southern coast of Turkey. It's been a fabulous week despite the dampness earlier on. We thought we might see the first Czech winner. We thought we might see back-to-back wins from Charlie Hull on the Ladies European Tour, but it was Valentine Derry who got her breakthrough. From Nigel and myself, Richard Kaufman, bye for now.